What is up, Need for Speed Racers? It's I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut, and we're here with the Porsche 718. It's an A-Class build. This thing is awesome. It's got a crazy body kit. It handles the best out of the A cars that I've got so far. It's got an 8-speed transmission, so you get to stay in the power. This is a manual transmission driver's car. If you run automatic, you don't want to switch to manual, you guys are probably going to struggle in this one, so I would say maybe pass on this build if you're trying to just be efficient with your money. If you've got money to burn, you want to try it, go for it, you guys. I'm not saying you can't be good in the car, but this really is, it was built by manual players, and it really shines for a guy that's driving manual transmission. We launched the car in 4th gear. It's got 8 gears. I mean, there's a lot of shifting going on. For that reason, you can stay in the power. You're in the right gear for every corner. I mean, it really allows you to just make this thing cook through the twisties and through all the corners. But you've got to be driving the manual transmission. Guys, try it. Start working on that. To launch the car in a higher gear and just rock it off the line and pass all the automatic players is awesome. People are always asking for the best cars. I could give you the best car in the world, but if you have the best car and you have somebody else that's in a lower tier car, but they're driving manual, they're probably going to beat you, honestly. Like, it really is that big of a difference. So learn to drive manual, get faster, you guys. That's the best thing you can do right now. It's very engaging to drive the manual. You'll be more focused on what's happening, and it's very rewarding once you get it. It's really fun. So keep that in mind. If you can, do it. It took me some time to adjust to the bumpers. I hate it, but hey, we're here now. Adapt or die, and we're not dying. We're racing. We're winning. With no further ado, with that caveat out of the way, this is a Bradzky and Nil combo build. Nil built it first, put a lot of time into it. It had a low top speed, lots of horsepower, lots of torque. Bradzky took it, tweaked it, changed the transmission around, and we've got a pretty good build for A-Class. So let's delve right in here. We are running the 3.8 liter V6. This is the Pro motor. It's the third one. 1, 2, 3. For the parts, you guys are going to be running the Elite induction. You're going to be running just the Sport ECU. You will be running the Pro fuel system. You will be running Sport exhaust. You will be running the Super Roots supercharger. Sport nitrous. You are going to be running the Elite suspension, not the road suspension, just the regular Elite suspension. You're running just regular Pro brakes. You are going to be running the Elite grip tires. This car is a grippy machine, especially once we put the body kit on, and if you believe that that makes a change. There's so many people that argue about it. Like, I think it does. It's cool. If you don't, that's fine. Build the car. Drive it. It's great. So Elite grip tires. You are running regular Sport clutch paired to an Elite 8-speed transmission. This is where you automatic players are gonna suffer with this. This build, to make it optimal for A-Class, it had to have all the gears. That's the only way to really make it work. And we couldn't tuck a clutch into it because it took away too much horsepower points. So that's kind of where the caveat is there, you guys. For you manual players, I think you're gonna like it. This car is really engaging. It's fun to drive. For you automatic players, I told you. We are running the Sport differential. You don't need to do any of the higher ones. That only moves the slider on the drift side of things. You're already 100% grip. So you got to go from basic to Sport. That lets you move the slider to 100% grip. You're good. Auxiliary, nitrous grip, nitrous near miss. That's what I'm running. I think it works great. For handling, we're 100% to the left. You're running 100% grip. Steering sensitivity, I'm a couple clicks to the right. You do you. It's personal preference, as we always do on the channel. Downforce for this car, you've got to run it all the way high. You cannot run it anywhere else. Anywhere else is a 210. That is a 209 all the way over. So be aware of that, you guys. These handling stats are important to make sure it all is set up right. Traction control is off. Drift entry is off. That being said, that is the parts, motor, and handling portion of the build. I am now going to go into the snake oil portion of this and explain to you the wide body that I've got on it, how I got the car to set up the way I did, and what I think is good. If you think that it's absolute BS, just move on. A lot of people think that I'm just making shit up. Cool. I feel personally that it does make a difference. I notice a difference. People say it's placebo. Okay, then I'm taking my placebo pill and I'm happy with it and I love it. And I'm on the Kool-Aid and I'm going to keep on building my cars this way. So if you don't like it, don't get mad in the comments and say I'm just full of shit. Just move along. I gave you the first portion of the build. Go drive that and be happy. Make it look any way you want. But for the rest of you that are on the train with me and we're all part of the cult of wide body, let's go look at that. Okay, so for the body parts we're running on this car, you guys, for the front fenders, we are running 2 of 4 kit. It's the Speed Hunters kit. It's the widest one that you can put on this car. All the rest are not nearly as wide. For the front end, since we're here, you are going to want to run a splitter. I found that it made the car handle a little better. You can run any one that you want. I didn't notice a difference at this point. Once I had this splitter on there, this one, and this one were all kind of similar. Basically, put a splitter on, it makes the car just a little longer. That's the stat that we're changing. I don't think there's aerodynamics. I think it's actual just length of the car edits the value. The X, Y, and Z axis is what we're changing by these. So we're making the car wider, we're making the car longer, and then the ride height changes the height of the vehicle essentially. So the way it handles, the way the suspension reacts, we're changing those dynamics based on what parts we're putting on it. And that's what I feel is actually making the change. I don't think there's aero. I don't think that they actually added a stat value for the wide body. I think that the stat value is we're making a larger hitbox, and so instead of taking a car that is this big, we're making a car that is this big, and now the physics engine uses that overall statistic for how it calculates how a car turns and handles. I think. That's what it feels like anyway. I can't prove any of it to you, so just trust and build it and see what you think. It might be total bullshit, but hey, I like it. So anyway, we're running that splitter, we're running those fenders. The rear fenders are the big one on this car, you guys. You can do a rear splitter, but it's not as long as this rear end. Look at the butt on this car. Like, it's insane. So for that, to get the car to look like that with that long rear, like swoopy tail, it's the fenders that do that. So we're running kit 2 of 4, the Speed Hunters kit. It gives us that long rear end, which is increasing the length of the car. So I'm running that set of fenders. And then for the spoiler, you can pretty much do any spoiler you want or no spoiler at all. That one I think probably is the longest, that APR. I like this Speed Hunters one because it's all crazy, comes off the back of the car. It's just personal preference, but that APR one I think actually hangs off the tail the most. But this one's close. All of that being said, whatever you want to do, you guys, but I am running that spoiler. But do you? At this point, we're really splitting hairs. Like, we're probably talking the difference between like half of a percentage point on the way it handles. So like, don't trip, just do what you like. For the rear bumper, you can do any rear bumper you want. For the diffuser, like I said, I believe we're changing the length of the car, so I don't know that diffuser makes a lot of difference. I am running one, but I don't know that it really changed the handling characteristics that much. All of that being said, for your rear wheels, because we're running a wide body kit, the rims do not matter. Pick whatever rims you want. I believe the tires that are good is the Kumho's 710s. So it's the options 25, 26, 27, and 28 of 62. So it's these 4 sets of rubber right there. Do you? Try them out. I think it matters. It might not matter, but if there's a way to be optimal, I'm going to try to find it. That is the body portion of the build. For the stance, I am 2 clicks lower off the center, and I'm 2 clicks high on the camber. So 1, 2, 1, 2. I think that makes the car handle really well. I think camber does matter. It's tough to prove it because if you do a skid pad test and you just drive in circles, it doesn't really change anything because whatever. But man, at speed, when you're trying to brake into a corner, or you're trying to break the back end loose with a little bit of handbrake, I think it does. Try it, you guys. I'm going to be on this kick for probably ever, so whatever. That is the build portion of the car. It's going to end up giving you a total performance package that is 152 mile an hour, and it gets there. It'll do 155 with Redline Tech. 425 horsepower, 609 on the torque. This thing slaps pretty hard. It's pretty good. The 8-speed transmission is awesome. We launch in 4th gear. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. I've got 2 races I'm going to show you. Watch the one in the mountains. Watch me switch gears and stay in the right gear for all the corners. It's really cool. And then watch me launch in 4th gear. I am not showing you record-breaking, amazing gameplay footage. I'm showing you me driving the car, doing a one take. Like I go into a pub lobby, I enter a playlist, I shoot video for 2 races or 3 races, pick the ones that are good, that I didn't crash or hit any traffic, and then I bring that to you. I don't grind for hours to bring you like the most optimum clip because it's frivolous. Like you guys don't care if I set a lap record, nobody does, and it would only stand for an afternoon anyway because somebody else would beat it. So I just try to get you guys some footage of the car driving. That's what we do here. I'm Alex Cornnut, your wheelman. Like, subscribe, follow. Join us on Discord. If you want to donate, there's a little button at the top there next to the Discord button. You can do that. I don't have a Patreon or anything, and we're just hanging out. We're having a great time, but I like bringing you guys content. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Stay tuned for the gameplay clips. Bye-bye.